Hello, Virgos, and welcome to this, your very first reading of 2025. This is your January reading and predictions. Let's dive right in. We are going to start off by taking a quick look at where you are at now here at the end of December as I record this video for you. And then we're going to dive into what you are focusing on, your difficult influences, what you don't see coming, and your final outcome. For those of you who are new here, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. And for those of you who are returning, thank you so much for continuing to trust me for your monthly and mid-monthly readings and updates. All right. What do we have coming out for you? We have the Three of Pentacles coming in for you. Three of Pentacles is a card of many hands make light work. It's a card of don't be afraid to reach out and ask for some help and assistance from time to time, Virgo. It is okay to ask for help. So just tapping into your energy here for just a moment. I get the sense, Virgo, that leading into the holidays, there was two incidents. There was two things that happened to you that precipitated a response from you, making you feel like you were all alone, like you had to do everything yourself. That and it caused a knee-jerk reaction for you to go into hyper independence. And this card, the Three of Pentacles, coming out for you at the end of December, just before we move into the new year, is your reminder that you are not all on your own and that there is help and assistance there. Sometimes you may need to ask for that help and assistance and that guidance as well, but it is there for the taking if you need it. The real lesson here for you as we move out of December and into January, Virgo, is it's not that the help is not there for you. It's about who you are asking for help. And if you're not asking the right sources for help and assistance, then you may not be getting the response that really the universe thinks that you're entitled to. Okay? You may be getting a response based on past perceptions. And the reason you're getting the response based on past perceptions is because you're still asking people who are tied to past responses when you've asked for help. So let's move forward from there and see what you're focusing on coming into January. I'm getting called in two different directions. So I was being called to this deck first. This is the Osho Zen deck. If there are any decks that you might be interested in, I'll leave affiliate links in the description box down below. Also, while I am shuffling the cards for your purpose in January, I also want to remind everyone that right now I am currently holding my annual special. I only offer the 13 card reading once a year. It is offered from December 15th through till January 15th. It is a 13 card reading that gives you a personalized overview of 2025. I pull one, sometimes two cards, because as you know, I work with the jumped cards for each and every month. It is a live Zoom call with me. It is not pre-recorded and then sent to you, although because it's on Zoom, I can change the permission so you can record it if you so desire. This is a general reading for all of the Virgos out there. It's going to resonate for some of you, may not resonate for others. So take it as it is. But if you're looking to dive deeper into what is coming up for you, please check out the link in the description down below for that 13 card reading. Okay. You have the Courage card coming in for what you are focusing on. Okay. This card corresponds to the Strength card from the Major Arcana of the Tarot. And this is a card indicating that you are stepping up and stepping into your power, stepping into your strength at this time, Virgo, and that you are no longer allowing people who made you feel like you couldn't ask for help, who made you feel like you needed to go into hyper independence into your life. You are setting new boundaries. You're stepping up and stepping into the courage that it takes to have healthy boundaries. Now, I was being called over here also for your cards of focus. So let's see what comes up here for what else are you focusing on for. Okay, we've got way too many cards jumping out here. What else are you focusing on for the month of January 2025? Let's mix these up and see what comes up. Oh, there's lots of sirens right now. All right, we do have one card that's popped out for us. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, it's about decisions and choices. So the Two of Pentacles is about going round and round in your head. I don't know if it's going to come into focus or not here for us, but let's see, maybe if I change the lighting for just a moment here. There we go. You'll notice on this card, and again, it's not very well in focus, but up at the top, there is an infinity symbol here. And the infinity symbol on this card, along with two pentacles, is indicating that during the month of January, you do have some choices and decisions to make. With this being right next to the courage card, again, it is about you having the courage and the strength to make the tough decisions that need to be made in order for you to have healthy boundaries in your life. Let's dive into your difficult influences and challenges and see what's coming up for you in January. Difficult influences and challenges for Virgo. Hmm. Difficult influences. You have the High Priestess coming in as your difficult influence and challenge. So the High Priestess, again, I'm just going to flip this light off for just a moment there. Okay. The High Priestess card. The High Priestess is the most intuitive character in the entire tarot deck. She is all about tapping into the divine feminine, which embodies intuition, empathy, and compassion. So, as you are going about setting some new boundaries, stepping into your strength, making some tough decisions during the month of January, Virgo, what may challenge you to be able to set boundaries is your empathy and your compassion. And I would encourage you to tap deeply into your intuition during the month of January. This card coming up in your difficult influences is indicating that during the month of January, you may be tempted to, I don't need to meditate this month. I don't have that much going on anyway, so I'm kind of in touch with things. I know a lot of people do that in the month of January. The other thing that's coming up for me, Virgo, is there is another smaller faction. I want to say we're kind of divided into 60, 40, 70, 30, no, more like 70, 30. So for about 70% of you Virgos out there, you're saying, I dabble in meditation and other forms or methods for tapping into my intuition. And you dabble in it. You don't really dive into it. And this card in your difficult influence is saying you really need to delve deeper into it rather than making excuses for the other 30% of the Virgos out there. This card coming up in your difficult influences is letting me know that for some of you, you're going way too deep. You're relying upon spending way too much time in a state of, how do I put this for you, Virgo? And again, it's a smaller portion of the Virgo collective, but there is a portion of the Virgo collective who has begun to use meditation as a form of escape rather than a method or a form of actually tapping into the universal collective or into the universal unconscious. Okay. So be aware of that. If you are too far into meditation where you're spending 6-7 hours a day in meditation, that is a form of avoidance. That's not meditation anymore. That's not therapeutic anymore. That's not healing anymore. Okay. If on the other hand, Virgo, you have been dabbling in meditation up until this point, this card is encouraging you to really, really tap into your meditative practice during the month of January. They say that it takes 30 days to form a new habit. So why not set that goal to meditate every day for the next 30 days in January? See what happens. See how your life changes. Let's take a look at messages from the universe. What messages are coming out for January for Virgo? Messages for Virgo for January. Yes. We only have one message that's come out for you, Virgo, and it is possess self-confidence. Possess self-confidence. Right. Okay. You've been told no, there's no help. Go do it on your own. You've gone into hyper independence. And you're realizing that there is help, but it depends on who you ask for help from. And you're stepping into your strength and you're stepping into some new boundaries. You're making some tough decisions. You are tapping deeply into your empathetic and compassionate side for yourself as well as for others. So you are setting these new boundaries gently for others, while at the same time maintaining that courage to be able to have those new boundaries. In order to be able to do all of that, you must possess self-confidence. You must be really, really sure of yourself, really sure of exactly what it is that your end goal is. And to me, this reading is indicating that you are in the process as we move into a new year of changing the dynamic of some of your relationships or changing some of your relationships altogether and saying, this is just not working for me anymore. And finding some new friends. Obviously, we can't find new family members, but we can set some firm boundaries around family members as well if they are overstepping. Or by the same token, we can also let people in on a deeper level. Okay. This is about changing and shifting some relationship dynamics. And I'm not talking necessarily about romantic relationships here, Virgo. I am talking about relationships in general in your life. All right, we are pulling cards for your unexpected and what you don't see coming. All right, so we have two cards that have come out. The first card that has come out for what you don't see coming is the Six of Pentacles, and you have the Four of Pentacles coming out. Interesting. So let's start with the Four of Pentacles and what you don't see coming. The Four of Pentacles is a card of, first of all, make sure that your budget is balanced. Make sure you don't have more going out than what you have coming in. January is a good time to really, really dig in and look at finances. Manage your resources wisely is the message on this particular card. Okay. But there is another meaning to this card. And the other meaning to this card, this is the card that I like to call the coveting card. I believe that's actually one of the 10 commandments. Somebody could leave me a message down below in the comments. I'm not an overly religious person myself, but I believe there's one in there about thou shalt not covet, and I believe it's thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. But in general, thou shalt not covet, because the reality is that if you've done any work with the law of attraction, Virgo, you'll know that as you covet or crave what someone else has, what you are actually sending out to the universe as a message is, I don't have that. And the universe says, okay, here's more of don't have that. Okay. When you look across the street and say, oh, I want that big, beautiful house that my neighbor lives in. I want their relationship. Their relationship is perfect. What you're actually sending out to the universe is, I don't have a nice house. Guess what's going to happen? You're probably not going to like your house much, even if you initially loved it, because you're sending the message out that you like somebody else's stuff better, so yours is not good enough. Okay? As you can see, coveting what other people have is a very, very dirty, messy road to drive down. Okay. So during the month of January, this card coming up is an indication that there may be something that comes up where you're like, oh, if only I had that. If that's coming up for you, turn it, twist it, change it, shift it. So that if that's what you want, rather than putting yourself in that position of want or need or yearning, begin to see yourself as actually having it, living it with your own twist on it, Virgo. Make sure you put your own twist on it. Because to just covet and crave what somebody else has exactly the way they have it, let me give you another example. Another example of coveting and craving is looking at a relationship between a couple, a man and a wife, for example, and going, oh, look at them. They're so romantic together. Aren't they cute together? Oh, I wish that I could have that in my life. And what you don't realize is that to the external world, the couple that you are craving the perfect relationship from may have a passive aggressive style behind closed doors, or worse. Or one of them may, in fact, be a narcissist. And that's why, to the outside world, it appears so perfect. But behind closed doors, one of those partners may be an absolutely horrible person. So if you're putting energy out into the world, oh, I want what they have, you then have the potential of attracting whatever negatives are in the other relationship that you're saying, oh, gimme, please. Do you see how it's a very, very messy road when we covet what others have? Because we don't always know what's going on behind closed doors. Okay. The perfect house scenario, you're looking at that perfect house, but you don't realize that they are in debt up to their eyeballs. Okay. So what you may be actually drawing in is more debt to yourself by craving what somebody else has. So be on the lookout for that. Is it all bad? Absolutely not, because you're on the lookout for it now. So now you can say, okay, that is an absolutely gorgeous house over there, but I would change this and I would change that, and draw yourself a little picture and then bring that new image or that new vision into your manifestation practice, Virgo. See what I'm saying? It's all right to use what someone else has as a starting off point for what you would like to manifest, but make it your own, Virgo. That's a really important lesson. The other card that you have here is the Six of Pentacles, Six of Autumn in the fairy deck. And this card is the card of karma. This is the card of you get what you give. Interesting that you have two cards, both similar in their dynamic, that you get what you give. Now, the interesting thing about the Six of Pentacles card coming in for you and what you don't see coming is that karma does not always allow us to see her in action. If someone has done you wrong in 2024, trust in the law of karma. You don't have to wish any ill will in any way, shape, or form. This card in your unexpected is saying, yep, karma's at work. You may or may not get to see the end result of her work, but just trust that she's at work so that you can move forward. Because if you're holding on to any kind of karmic resentment for someone else and you are wishing any kind of ill will on someone else, again, the law of attraction comes into play here. So instead, trust in the law of karma and let it go. It's a universal law. It will do what needs to be done. You just might not get to see it happen. All right. Where are we going for your final overall outcome? We're going here. For Virgo, end of January, what's coming up? How are we going to close out this reading? What one's on the floor? Okay. Ooh, I can't quite reach. I have my chair sitting up too high. We have the Two of Wands. Your second two in this reading, Virgo. The Two of Wands is a card, again, of making decisions. As I said, when this Two of Pentacles came in for your reading, twos are all about making decisions. It's a question of, based on the suit, be it Pentacles, Wands, Swords, or Cups, as to the energy behind the decision that needs to be made. In the case of the Two of Wands, it's about needing to make a decision and then taking action on it. It's not about making a decision and then sitting by passively. The Suit of Wands is ruled by the element of fire, and the element of fire is about action. Getting up, getting going, getting moving. And you'll notice here as well, the character on this particular card, and again, we have that lovely reflection, so I'll turn that off for a moment. All right. So you'll notice here the character on the card has what looks like a globe in his hand. And that globe in his hand is a representation of the world. And basically what this character has done, he's got a wand on either side of him here. He has turned his back on one of the wands and said, "You're no longer serving my highest good. I am taking this wand and I'm taking my globe and I'm going out into the world because I have made some decisions and choices for the betterment of myself. I've set new boundaries and I have the courage and the strength to be able to move forward with my new boundaries. I am setting new intentions and new manifestations. I am trusting in the law of karma. There is nothing more I need to do. I am delving deep into a meditative practice where I can get in touch with my intuition on a regular basis. And I am ready for the rest of what 2025 has to offer." There you have it, Virgos. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Please like and subscribe and check out that 13 card reading.